Alright, so my name's Michael, and this is my first attempt at making a YouTube video. I thought I'd start out with my coming out story, as that's always a nice little topic to talk about. But basically, no kid wants to come out to their parents. That's always the hardest thing to do for most of us, at least. And it was in 10th grade when I finally told my parents. It was right after Christmas. I had gotten a speeding ticket. This is going to sound terrible, but my parents told me that if I got a speeding ticket, they were going to take away my car, and I would have no transportation. And I had just recently started dating this guy, and I couldn't lose my car, because I really liked him. But, sorry, I have a cold, too, so I'm going to be all sick on camera for everyone. It'll be lovely. But, basically, I had to find a way to keep my car. And I figured that a great way would be to lessen the blow with another worse thing that they would care more about. Now, keep in mind that I live in South Carolina. I come from a Christian conservative home, because I'm from South Carolina. I'm one of those kids who went to church every day, multiple times. No, not every day, but, you know, I went 4 times a week to church. It was a lot. I went to a private Christian school for a while. I was that kid. And, so I had to tell my parents. So I go up to my mother. I was like, Mom, I have 2 things to tell you, and neither of them is going to make you very happy. She goes, okay, what is it? So I was like, well, first, I got a speeding ticket. She goes, uh-huh, and what else? And I was like, and, I'm gay. It got silent. There was, like, the awkward silence, and, you know, if awkward silences really do make gay babies, I think we made about 10 right there. We made about 10 gay babies with that awkward silence. So, I mean, you know, I wasn't sure how things were going. She was asking general questions that I would expect, nothing really bad. You know, at first, she's, you know, are you sure? Is this just a phase? Because, you know, every parent wants to believe that you're just a little confused right now. You don't know what you're talking about. But, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm sure. I've dated guys before. I'm dating someone now. I've never been interested in girls. And, I thought things were going fine. Things seemed to be going better than I expected. And then it just kind of completely flipped to the worst. She started crying. She was really disappointed. It was terrible. She was angry with me, really. There were some really nasty things said. Thankfully, I can't really remember all of the nasty things said because I was what, 16 at the time, and you know, I'm 19 now, so there's been a good time difference between this. But basically, my parents didn't speak to me for a month. Yeah, it was awkward because I was at you know, eat together family too. All of our dinners were all together, so those were awkward for a month. No talking at all. But just a little over a month, I went to the kitchen to get a drink. We weren't speaking. I was just gonna get something to drink, go right back to my room, and just kind of stay there, not leave ever. But well, there goes. So, what do you want to talk about? Completely catches me off guard. So I go, what do you mean? So she gets mad because that was obviously just completely an acceptable thing to throw out after not speaking to me for a month. So, what do you want to talk about? So I was like, no, fine. I sat down and I was like, what do you want to talk about? We can talk about anything. What do you want to talk about? And she was like, oh, I don't know. Let's talk about your personal life. So I was like, oh, all right. This woman is finally going to come to terms with things. She's going to try to accept it, try to understand it. So I was like, all right, yeah, sure. Doesn't ask me anything. Just starts going off on, you're never going to be happy, and you're going to live a terrible life, and da-da-da-da-da. It goes on and on and on for about 30 minutes about how my life is going to be ruined because I am attracted to guys and not girls. So that was lovely. After that, there was speaking. There was speaking in my house again. None of it was very nice. It was a very stressful time. But, I got through it. I got past all that. And, eventually, she started wanting to connect more with me, because obviously she realized that telling me that I was a terrible person wasn't really going to help our relationship, and she wanted to have that. So she started doing research on her own, started looking at the Bible, and eventually she came to terms with a whole bunch of the mistranslations that are in the Bible and all that stuff. Did her own research, realized that there was actually nothing strictly in the Bible against homosexuality, save like Leviticus, which is invalid. As you know, if you believe in Christianity, Jesus came and Leviticus is no longer important. As we don't stone people for any of the things back then. I mean, it's ridiculous what they had to do back then. So to make it even better, there's this great video on Netflix. It's called For the Bible Tells Me So. And it's a Christian gay video explaining why all this stuff, all the things that have happened, and all the, it's a really great video. I showed it to her, and I mean, she's really come to terms with everything since then. We have a great relationship. And I mean, it sounds really cliched, but it does get better. Like, most people do end up fixing these relationships with their family when they get hurt by this, and it sounds really cliched, because, you always hear, oh, it gets better, and you're like, well, it's not better right now, so I don't care, like, but, it does get better, and, yeah, that was my coming out story. If any of you liked it, you could tell me, give me some feedback, as this is my first video, but, yeah, I'd love to hear back from anybody who actually cared, but, thanks, bye.